Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Inform Your Community event from our Much to Discuss program. We're very excited for you to be here. Uh, my name is Stacy, and I am a white woman with curly hair, salt and pepper hair, and I have a green top. I had to check there for a second. I have a green top, and closed captioning is enabled for those who would like that. We are here today to discuss an important topic, a bit of an unusual topic, but important nonetheless, of rights of people versus rights of businesses. At Inform Your Community, we offer important events like this, combining important information with fun activities. And today we have our game night. I'm happy to see some return visitors for our games. You can find out more about our events and other programs at informyourcommunity.org. You can also find our social media links on our website there as well. So do like and subscribe. You can tell your friends as well. And we have a mailing list you can sign up for and have them sign up for. And of course, we welcome donations to help to keep our events free, especially our crafting events, adult crafting and children's crafting, where we actually send the kits materials and we mail them entirely for free as well. So your donation helps to support that. If you're watching this on YouTube, we encourage you to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Tell us what you think of our videos on YouTube. And as I said, this is part of our We Got Game program, formerly called Much to Discuss. And it's a virtual game night where you learn about this important topic. So today we'll be having a trivia game and a scavenger hunt. And so we will have lots of good news for somebody because we'll actually have a winner for our games today. We even have a tiebreaker. In case there's a tie, we will be counting points. And we will have a certificate for bragging rights that we will email you for each of the games as well. So there'll be an overall winner as well as we'll have certificates for the individual games. So to help us facilitate our event today, we have Oren Kurtz, and we're so grateful to have you here. Certainly your bio is up in our event page, but Oren, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So, well, you mean, let's see, where do I start? I am a retired jazz musician, and I always say I decided to retire from jazz to pursue my hobby of practicing law. I've been practicing law for about 20 years now, and 22 years. I'm an employment lawyer. I deal with all aspects of the employment relationship, whether it's getting a job, losing a job, keeping a job, recovering wages that weren't paid, addressing discrimination, helping employers make sure that they don't do something wrong. And I've been on my own in my own practice for about a year and 1 month. Before that, I worked for a couple of big firms. I spend time in New York City and some time in upstate New York. A little bit of both.
Fantastic, absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for that great introduction and for being here today. Thank you. Yes, Wendy, I agree. I agree. Very impressive. Perfect co-facilitator for our event today. And welcome from Staten Island and from wherever you folks are that are on this call. Really appreciated that you're here with us today. So, without further ado, I'd like us to just get right in to our slides for today. And so, towards that end, we're going to start with our trivia. I'm going to put up the slides, but Orange is going to help us facilitate that. Give me one moment to just share my screen with everyone. Well, hold on one second. Apologies. Try that one more time. There we go. Hold on. Wonderful. So, is this the right? There we go. So we have our trivia today, and Oren, why don't you go ahead and start us off telling us, actually, Oren, since this is your first time, do you want me to tell the rules or do you want to go for it?
I can tell the rules.
Go for
Okay.
it. Okay.
It's my first time, but I'm going to give it a go here. So here are the
Excellent.
rules for our trivia. We will ask a question. When you know the answer, you can raise your hand by doing the little heart sign on the bottom of the screen that's sort of reactions. You can click on that and it'll say raise hand. So when you know the answer, raise your hand with the raise your hand emoji. Write in the chat or otherwise let us know that you know the answer, but don't tell us the answer. Then we'll call on you to tell, and you can give us the answer. I infer that you get points for right answers, and the host has final decision-making authority for points awarded. She takes precedence over even the Supreme Court of the United States in that decision. The host will write down the points won by each player, and then each correct answer is worth 1 point.
Excellent. Okay. Are we ready to go? Everybody ready to go?
And hello, I'm seeing some in the chat, some people. We've got Staten Island, comfortable weather from the Adirondacks. It's nice out. I spend a lot of my time about 2 hours from the Adirondacks in the Catskills, and it's just starting to bloom right now. Spring is late up there. So Wendy, I hope you are enjoying the first buds of the spring. Yeah. So okay. Anyway, that interlude aside, shall we
Yeah, let's
do the
go.
questions? All
Let's
right.
go. And I love the Catskills, by the way. But yes, let's go. Here we go. And first, oops, hold on. Take that back. There you go. First question.
True or false? The U.S. Constitution established a minimum wage.
Oh, it looks like Marie raised her hand.
Marie raised her hand first. So does she tell us the answer? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marie got there before raising her hand before Wendy and then put it in the chat. So Marie, go ahead.
I said false. Constitution established a minimum wage. I don't believe the Constitution does that.
Do I get to say the answer? The
Yeah,
answer,
for sure.
you are correct. And one of the ways that we look at the Constitution is that it's a framework. It's not a body of laws itself. It's just sort of a framework, mostly of things that tell the government how to operate. And then the laws, like minimum wage, are left to legislatures in the federal and state and local governments.
Great, great, excellent. Shall we go to the next question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, whoop, here we go.
The Tax Cut and Jobs Act reduced the top federal corporate income tax from 35% to A, 21%, B, 32%, C, 2%, D, 17%. I believe that we've skipped hand raising, but we've got answers in the chat.
We do. Wendy is up. Wendy came
Wendy is
first.
up.
Yeah.
So Wendy, your answer is A. I believe that's correct.
Yes, I said A.
Yeah, okay. I believe that that's correct. They would love to reduce it to C, 2%. They would love to reduce it to 0%, but for right now, it's 21%. Yeah.
Great. Great.
Mhm.
Okay, fantastic.
All right. Shall we do the next one?
Yeah, let me get that going here. Okay, go ahead. You see.
Oh, in this is a tough one. In 1971, future Supreme Court Justice Lewis Powell Jr., so he was not on the Supreme Court at that time, wrote what's known as the Powell Memorandum, wherein he discussed what he called an attack on American free enterprise system and identified Ralph Nader, a consumer rights activist, as a leading antagonist of American business. When did Ralph Nader reply to Lewis Powell Jr.?
Well, I think that Marie had her hand raised for that one first, or did you see somebody? Let's see. We have a couple of different answers in here.
I think we actually have unanimous.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. It's the same answer. Okay. So who? Oh, dude, I kind of saw Marie first with the hand. So let's go with Marie if that's okay.
Yeah, from what I can recall hearing in the news, I don't think Nader would have responded because he's like more of an action than a speaking guy from my recollection. So that's why I chose that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
But so who has so actually that's not the correct answer though, if you'd believe it. It was for I can give you a hint. It was for a while.
So 2022.
So we have some saying B. Is that Marie? Is that you who just spoke? Sorry, I missed it.
Yes.
Okay, no, you and Wendy are like lockstep for this one. But no, it's not that either.
Oh, so it has to be C.
It is indeed C. It is indeed. See, I like Wendy. You were hedging your bets on that one, but it is C. That is true. And actually, Oren, do you mind if I jump in here and explain it a little?
Please do. I want to hear this.
So what happened is that Lewis Powell Jr. and you might know more about the original memo, Attack on American Free Enterprise System, which, as it says in the question, kind of called out Ralph Nader, who, as we know, is this consumer rights activist, for basically being anti-business. And Nader did not reply until 2025. So if you'd believe it, just last year. And his reply was basically his way of kind of revisiting those same topics and suggesting that these are now once again pertinent arguments that people are trying to make. And so he offered his response as way to, kind of officially respond to Powell in many ways, but also to speak to the current times. And those ideas kind of reemerging that were from this original memo back then. So learn something new every day, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Ready for the next question?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Which of these Ben and Jerry's ice cream flavors is not real? A, fossil fueled. B, empowerment. C, change the planet. D, economic crunch. E, yes, pecan.
Fantastic. And I actually did. I was watching very carefully because I don't want anybody to think we're cheating here or we're not doing our due diligence. I watched very carefully because it's getting close. And I did see Marie's hand go up a half second before I saw another comment in the chat. So let's go for it. Marie.
Yes, pecan sound like, pecan. And I don't think it would be like pee, a urine. And being that Ben and Jerry usually they're climate savvy, the other seems more sense to me than pee. Cannot.
I think, wait, that was Marie.
Marie. Yes.
Right. Okay. And so actually, and I'm looking at the other answer in the chat as well, and actually nobody's gotten it correct yet.
Oh.
I'm jumping in here, Oren, to give the answer. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's all right.
So anybody want to take up? D came in as an answer. Economic crunch. You gotta love these names. That is not the answer either.
Change the planet? I can't see what flavor that would be. Empowerment is a flavor. Fossil fuel can be a flavor. Change the planet?
Teresa got it. Teresa in the chat. Way to go. Coming in.
Change the planet, huh?
Change the planet. Yeah, to be fair, the real flavor is slightly differently named. So it was a little tricky on that one. It's slightly differently named. But yeah, so the Yes Pecan is actually, I think, an homage to President Obama, like, yes, we can. So yes, pecan.
Oh, but I saw the P, like I thought you're
I heard that. I'm like, yeah, I can see it now. I can definitely see it now. Yeah. What do you think of Ben and Jerry's, Oren? Do you like any particular Ben and Jerry's favorite flavors? Or are you an ice cream kind of a person?
I don't eat a lot of ice cream, but I never met a Ben and Jerry's flavor I didn't like, you know? I mean, they're just every flavor is so nicely just perfect. It's very rich and enjoyable, and this is making me want ice cream.
It's true. And actually, I had already had a plan to have ice cream after this event. I'm not going to lie. So,
Oh, nice.
What is the flavor for Change the Planet?
I forget offhand. I am so sorry. I am going to see if I can find that out. So somebody else know? Maybe somebody in the chat knows. Tonight's dough is excellent. Somebody recommended.
That's another game. Wow.
That's a good flavor. Okay, we'll have to explore that. I will have to. I'm going to have to try to locate that name of it before we get off this session. But for now, so far we got 2 points to Marie, 1 point to Wendy, 1 point to Teresa. Let's go for our next question. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Which of these Ben and Jerry's ice cream flavors? Oh, wait.
Oh, that's
Here you go.
Which of these names is not someone related to the topic of rights of people versus business? Okay.
So go ahead, put your answers in the chat. I might have to I'm going to unshare my screen for just a second. Sorry. And I will get right back to it in just a second. Give me a minute. And we're going to get you those. Take a look at those answers, but go ahead, have a think on it. Have a think on it for a minute. And then we're going to get right back to you. Okay. So let's see. Let me let me share my screen again with that, and we're going to get to those answers right now. And then, on 1 second. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. So who went first on that? Let's see in the chat. I think it was Marie on both counts on this one.
Yeah, I put in E.
I think so. Yeah. So E, Oren, do you want to tell us? Is it E?
It is.
Fantastic. Do you want to tell us any more about the people? Do you want me to?
Dolores Huerta is an American labor leader. Frances Perkins
Social
was an
Security.
American workers' rights advocate who served as the fourth United States Secretary of Labor from 1933 to 1945. That was a big time in labor. That's when the Fair Labor Standards Act was passed.
Mhm.
That is when we were really starting to see the beginnings of true advocacy. Supreme Court was expanding federal power at that time. And, you
Architect of
know,
Social Security?
sorry.
Wasn't she the architect of Social Security?
Oh, I don't know. Do you know
I'm
that?
I'm going to tell you that in just a
Yeah,
minute. Let me check my sources.
she
But
was
she,
under FDR, and she brought that to FDR's attention, and had the Social Security Act passed.
oh, that's great. That is great to know.
Oh, that's
I can tell you another
revolutionary.
fun fact about her, although that wasn't fun. That was very informative. Fun fact is she's very important to Mount Holyoke College, which is where my daughter goes to school. So
Oh,
I have a slight preference for Frances Perkins. So go on, Oren. You want to tell us some more?
cool.
Sure. And Frances Perkins was the longest serving Secretary of Labor. And then John Ruggie was the author of the UN Guiding Principles and on Business and Human Rights. And as we know, Erin Brockovich impersonated Julia Roberts. And in 1996, she uncovered the PG&E that it contaminated Hinkley, California's water. And her activism resulted in a $333 million settlement. And take that and triple it, because that's in today's dollars, you'd probably double or triple it to get what we have, so in the 700 to $900 million range. Yeah.
That is super. That is a big figure. I hadn't realized that was tripled at this stage. That is a rather large settlement. Um, Excellent. Congratulations to everybody for that. I think we have a winner, although some of it was really tight. But the final score here was Marie has 3, Wendy has 1, and Teresa had 1. So it was close there for a while, but Marie definitely pulled out in the lead on this one. So Marie is our winner
Oh,
for the event. So not for the event, for this game.
mhm.
And if Oren, if you're able to share your screen with the other one, the other game, the scavenger hunt, we can get started on that one. Now, there's just something I want to mention about the scavenger hunt. So first, though, congratulations, Marie,
Yeah.
on that. Fantastic, and thank you, Oren, for helping us learn some important facts. Um, so, um, let's see. Oh, great. Thank you. That is fantastic. Very appreciated.
Sorry.
And I just want to mention that for this next game, just to warn you in advance, you're going to be able to you're going to have to, if you're participating in this game, you're going to have to share your screens. So please, I love all the votes of the confidence and the votes of confidence and congratulations in the chat. I think that's lovely. So you're going to be able to start your videos in just a minute. In order to play this next game, you have to start your video. So if you want to get that up there as a slideshow, that would be swell. Loving it. I think it's top right. A little farther down. It's a white button next to 2 blue buttons on the right side. And then we can get started in just a minute. I am so excited. I'm always, for those of you who have not been here for the scavenger hunt games, they are always my favorite. I do enjoy them greatly. So we have just under 30 minutes. And so we're going to go right ahead. I will say, Oren, can you get this in slideshow just above where your cursor is right now? Oh, no, back up. So go to where it says, do you see where your O is on the right in purple? The top right, there's a little O. All the way on the right, go down. I can see your cursor, so that's why I know. So that's me. Wait, go to my picture.
Uh-huh.
Do you see my little picture?
You know what? I've got the yes, I do.
Go to the right. Go to the right. No.
I've got the Zoom is getting in the way. So
Oh,
how's
I
that?
see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not there. Just left of that. Ever so slightly left of that. That's it. Click on that. That should do it. If it's letting you. There we go. Perfect. Thank you so much, Oren. Sorry about that. Thank
All
you
right.
everybody for your patience. Usually we have somebody from tech and we don't have a tech person today. So we're making do, but I appreciate everybody's patience. Oren's in particular, thank you for that so much. But we don't want to let people see what the other items are. So we have to hide them. So that's why we had to get that up and going. So having said that, we are now ready to go. So we can go on to the next screen on that, if you would be so kind.
The
And
next screen.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
that do it?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's perfect. Great. So we have our scavenger hunt today. You can go to the next one as well. And there we go. Now we have our rules. So let's get the
Uh-oh.
rules
Wait a
here.
second.
Okay. Oh, no, not yet. Go back. Okay, don't look anybody. Close your eyes.
Wait, I don't know what's happened here.
Go to the do your left arrow. Oh, sorry. So sorry. You know what?
There.
I can, yep, perfect. But now go back to that slideshow button if you can.
Yes.
Right. Yes. A couple next.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm having
No
slideshow.
problem. There you go. That's it. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you, Oren. Again, I'm so sorry. Usually we have tech. I'm
Okay.
sorry we don't today. Okay. So our scavenger hunt rules, here they are. So some of you have been here before. You know our scavenger hunt rules, but we're going to tell you them again for those who are new. All players need to turn on their webcams for the host to know which player arrives first. So you have to put your cameras on. Second, the host, that's me, will show 3 items on the slide, all with one letter that they're associated with. Sometimes these items do not seem specific to the topic, but don't worry, we'll fill in the blanks. And a lot of times they're fun metaphors or related ideas for related ideas. But we'll connect all those dots for you. All players will have a limited time per each letters to find up to those 3 items. Okay, so there's going to be a time clock here, right? And then all players must come back within that time to starting position with your cameras on before that countdown ends in order to qualify. So when we say start, you're going to run, find the items, and then you're going to go ahead and show them to us. So we usually, depending if we have time, we'll let everybody show theirs, but it'll always be the person who comes back first with all 3 items is the first one gets to go, and that would be the one who gets to earn those points. But if we have time, we'll let everybody show their items. And I will write down the host, I will write down the points that are from each player, and that's how we'll find out. So without further ado, we can go to the next slide. So wait, first make sure you have your cameras on, and we're going to start 45 seconds. Go. Looking for something related to a person, something related to private or privacy, something related to the word premium, something that means something about premium. So those are your items to go find. Have fun with it. You have about less than 30 seconds left. And then first person to come back with all of your items, you'll let us know. And Oren, if you can tell us who comes back first, that'd be super helpful. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay, nobody's come back yet. And Oren, by the way, you can participate. You can't win the prize, but you can participate if you so desire.
I think Marie might be back. Are you back, Marie, with all your stuff? But you are muted.
Oh, she
You are
has
muted.
2.
Oh, she got two. Okay.
We've got two. Okay, let's give it another.
One-
Oh,
I have one item for two things.
oh, okay, okay. That could work. Okay, let's judge that. So, go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and show us what items you have?
Oh, you
Hold
mean-
on a second. I'm so sorry. Let me take it out of focus mode real
Okay,
quick.
I think I have to unblur my. Okay,
Hold on one
the first
second.
one is my
Go ahead.
grandson. The person is my grandson. Now, he is also considered premium because he's my first grandson, my first grandson. So he's a person and he's my premium person.
Ha ha ha. I absolutely
The
love that.
for private, I have my earbuds because whenever I'm on the phone outside, it's a pet peeve of mine when other people are talking loud on the phone and don't have the ear for privacy. So I consider this like a primo, especially if I have to talk while I'm outside. I wanted my conversations to be private, so my earbuds.
That is great. I love that. That's fantastic. That's good. You got three right there, so that's great. Sometimes we let people cheat with that. It's not really cheating. You got two for the price of one. That's fantastic. Did anybody else want to show us their items? I didn't even get a chance to do mine. That time went by so fast for the letter P. And okay, so in that case, let me just explain to you why we picked these words. So the word person, we wanted to draw your attention to something called corporate personhood. And by the way, Oren, if you have any thoughts that you want to add to any of this, absolutely feel free. And this legal term and doctrine allows a company to be treated and act as a person, enabling them to hold property, enter contracts, and to sue or be sued. It enables a company to essentially be treated like a distinct legal identity separate from its shareholders. And then we picked premium because we associate the word premium oftentimes with insurance premiums. And so you may not know, for example, just kind of a fun fact related to insurance premiums, that 93% of people who are insured through the Affordable Care Act insurance marketplace, the ACA marketplace, 93% in 2025 of enrollees received some kind of advanced premium tax credit, a subsidy to help them pay for that, which is great that that's an option available. And then also to talk to you about the word private, well, we said that privacy, or we want to say that privacy relates to the idea of private property. The idea of private and private property is one of the tie-ins that we wanted to make sure we made. And the idea of eminent domain. So if we think about rights of people versus rights of business, eminent domain is the ability for the government to take private property for public use. And it includes land, which is probably something we're most familiar with, but I didn't know this until I started researching it some more. It also includes things like airspace, contract rights, intellectual property, and more. But it does require that just compensation be provided. So those are our P words. Oren, anything you want to add, or should we move on to our next word?
We can move on. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so go ahead.
I have a question.
Oh.
Question. In relation to the person, you mentioned that companies can claim personhood. Is that related to the whole political issue where companies can donate X amount of money because they're considered person and not necessarily businesses in terms of donation to political PACs? Is that the same thing?
Oren, I don't know if it's your area of expertise. Do you want to chime in on that at all?
I don't know particularly in the area of PACs. So I don't know that well enough to answer.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a little outside of the purview of where we were going with it, but I think it's knowing this idea of personhood means it's that much easier for you to hopefully research that and unpack that.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
And if anybody on the call has an answer to that they want to share just for some kind of preliminary information, that of course you can look up later. Feel free to do that as well. Okay. Thank you for the question. I'm going to have to make a note of myself to look that up for later too.
That's
Um,
actually a very interesting question that I would, yeah. So,
in my head, I seem to think that was the case, but it's not something I researched, so I don't want to, impose that on anybody just yet. But it's great that you're making those connections. Okay, are we ready for our next letter? Can you forward the slide, please? Okay, so here we are. Our next letter is an O. And go ahead. You're looking for something that's about hour, something that is related to office, and something that should be easy, something that's related to the word one. So go ahead and check that out. You've got 30 seconds left. The time goes really fast. And we will see who comes back. Or you have to be a really quick thinker in this game.
I know.
I don't even have I can't even like my sometimes I try to participate, but I'm at a loss today. I just can't. It's been a long day. 5 seconds left. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. And stop. Who is the first person back? Oren, did you get a chance to see? Did anybody come back?
I think the only person who we see is Marie.
Okay. Marie, I think our other panelists are being maybe camera shy today, but I hope you folks will consider getting on. You can still be in it and win it. So if you want to try the next round, so go ahead.
Okay, I have my wedding band and wedding ring to signify my marriage to my wife as an hour together. That's the only thing I could have thought of. One, my tag name is Exotic Butterfly, and I'm the one and only Exotic Butterfly. So I had my the tag laser printed for my, what they call that, keychain. And I am in my office right now, so I don't know. This is like my office. Hold on.
I love it. I love that you're giving us proof, Marie.
I have my printer, so I'm in my office right now.
That is fantastic. I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, it looks like you're 2 for 2. And let's see if we get any of our other challengers to come in on this one. And if it makes you feel better, you only have to show your screen when you're showing us your items. You don't have to have it on the whole time. Okay. So, but let us unpack a little bit of what we have here. So our is a reference to unions. It's about us, about our work that we're doing and the work we all do together. So it's this idea of union strong, right? So in 1979, the number of unions actually, union members actually hit its peak. 1979, right? That's a long time ago. And that was the peak of union membership. Now it's down to 21 million. I'm sorry, not now it's down to, that's what it was then. It was at 21 million at that time. And it's interesting. I don't know if anybody else gets these, but I get these things in the mail that are actually encouraging me to write to my union and say that I don't want to be in it anymore. And it's really kind of a little bit deceptive advertising, the way they advertise it. It's like, you'll get more money if you stop paying your union dues. It's really strange. So yeah, so it's actually decreased. It's since 21 million in 1979, the number of union members has actually decreased. Do we also have the word office here? And many of us, as Marie literally showed us, work in offices. And so we encourage you, especially in light of this curriculum on rights of people versus rights of business, to we encourage you to support businesses, but specifically because it's not, we have a small business event, and for that event we say support small businesses, but we encourage you to support businesses who support the rights of their employees and the community that they're in, or communities that they're in. So that's how office is a tie-in there. And then for one, we say, some of you might remember Zuccotti Park in New York City, where there were protests related to wealth and power being centralized in what they kind of called the 1% versus the 99%. And so we have the one here to represent that 1%. Whereas that part of those protests were about the interests of the 99% not being represented. So there you go. Okay, running out of time. We're going to get through this. Another 45 seconds on the clock. Oren, whenever you're ready to show the next letter. And there we have it, W. And so we have W, and this is work, watch, and we. So work, watch, and we. Go ahead. 45 seconds on the clock, ticking, ticking, ticking away. Let's see. Maybe I'll try to participate with my 25 seconds left. Mm. 5 seconds. Nope. I got two of them. Okay. Who's back? Anybody back? Oh no, we lost Marie. Sorry, one of our participants. Oops.
Where'd
Did we
she
get
go?
anybody who came back with that one? Let's see.
I got stuck.
Aww. So, do we get somebody?
Here comes Marie.
I don't know if she got a chance to do it. And it is, so the hard part about the scavenger hunt, I do understand, is you do have to be a bit mobile. We do allow you, though, if anybody, if this benefits anybody, you can do scavenger hunt just from the things around you. And oftentimes we will grant you 1 extra point if you're able to win around with things that are just an area not able to move around. So actually we give bonus points for that. So if you want to participate, but understand if not. So
I'm
Marie,
sorry. I was moving around and I unplugged myself. So I had to replug and turn back on.
were you able to get any items?
No, I unplugged right after the so this is the new one.
Well, I will share what I got then. I only got 2 things. I know I have a picture of my family around here somewhere, but I didn't get it. So, but I'll share what I did. I got for work, I took your inspiration and I went through the items that are around me, and I have my little label maker, which I use for work. So that is my representation there. And then for watch, I have my phone. So I figured that counts at least as a clock, if not a watch. So 2 points to me, but don't worry, I can't win. You're still in the lead. Okay, so then as far as this goes, for work, not surprising, there's so much we can say about work. There's work-life balance that, of course, is so important, balancing what you do for what you're paid for to do, right? And what you need to do for your own personal life, right? And your own well-being, right? And sometimes it's hard to, to struggle sometimes to juggle those 2 things. Another point we wanted to make about work is that there are lots of different types, so many different options of what to do for work. And so when you're thinking about rights of people versus rights of business, sometimes that's one of the factors that play in is what type of organization do you want to work for, right? And so working for, volunteering or working for nonprofits, for example, hopefully nonprofits that are on the right side of employment law, although I'm sure Oren can tell us that not all nonprofits are on the right side of employment law. But working for organizations and really understanding your organizations and kind of how fair they are in terms of the rights of the employees versus the rights of businesses when you're making that decision, if you have the luxury to make that decision, right? For work. So, okay. Other thing we want to mention is watch. So We did not use the term in terms of a clock. We meant it in terms of watching somebody. So we meant it in terms of oversight. So businesses benefit from oversight. So there is corporate accountability is kind of a value that we associate with this topic. And corporate accountability is the ability for those affected by corporations or organizations, businesses, to hold them accountable for what they're doing for their operations. So these are ways that, you know, are they fostering ethics? Are they transparent? Are they in legal compliance? Right. So corporate accountability is the ability for people to hold organizations accountable for that. And then lastly is the idea of we. And while there is autonomy in the workplace, it is also super important that there is also, we also understand that there's interdependence. There's a we in the workplace, right? So we said R in terms of unions, but we're talking about all of us working together, businesses and people. When we say rights of people versus rights in business, it can sound like we're two different things, but we're all in this together, right? We're all trying to accomplish the goals, hopefully for some mutual benefit to everybody involved. Okay, I'm ready to go to my next one. How about you, Oren?
Okay, let me get back to this slideshow.
Yeah, that's great. Love it. And we have
Okay.
E, and it's election, electric, and employee. So if you folks want to try to get those, election, employee, and electric, the clock is ticking. So have you, Oren, do you have any thoughts on any of the things we've talked about? Does this intersect with your work a lot? Am I preaching to the choir here?
Well, I mean, you know, it's always good to have the fundamentals, but I mean, all this stuff, you know, I'm trying to move back to that previous one, but I mean, all of this stuff links in. I mean, I'm constantly dealing with this, maybe on a little bit of a less of a theoretical level, but nonetheless, I'm dealing with people who face discrimination. I'm dealing with people who face wage theft. I'm dealing with judges who take laws that are plainly designed to help employees and turn them against the employees. And so I'm dealing with issues of people, you know, people's mindsets, as they relate to these laws. I'm involved in it's there all the time. The union issue, I deal with unions. I generally go away when there's a union involved because they're either supposed to cover it or do cover it, or the judges just say you can't do anything. It's all the union, and so
Wow.
yeah. Mhm.
Well, I had such a vast amount of experience, even just the one under the one topic. There's just so many pieces there to it. But now we are ready to see our audience. What do you have for us?
I have under election.
Uh-huh.
I'm a poll worker, inspection of.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so I have two, election and employee, because I have my employee card for, and then electric. I've been doing some work up in the attic, so I bought my plug that I plugged my light up in the attic so I could go through all my paperwork. So I came with the electric plug.
That is fantastic, and kudos for you for working the elections. My mom actually works the elections as well. I once worked the elections when I was like 18. So that is fantastic, and great. So once again, excellent job. Now let me see what we had to say about that. I wanted to say for election, the Supreme Court, and I think this might have been what somebody had asked about before. The Supreme Court made its 2010 ruling in something called Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission, which tilted political influence towards wealthy donors and corporations.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the ruling. So if you look up that and you look up the personhood, you're going to get your answer.
Yeah.
And previously there were limits in place that otherwise would not have allowed that kind of political and finance influence through that finances, but they were able to do it after that ruling. So Citizen United is a big one. Also, electric. in 1996. So going back to Erin Brockovich again, uncovered that Pacific Gas and Electric contamination and won that settlement. So electricity there. And then employee, this is an obvious word choice for our topic today. And thanks to Marie for giving us a great example of it. And specifically, we wanted to mention that the role of employee handbooks, you know, and Oren, especially some of the things you already mentioned, you know, you'd like to think those employees' handbooks, when they exist, would help to make any kind of, you know, things clearer between the employees and the organization. But, you know, sometimes that's not the case. So ready for our last letter.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. So R is for railroad, resources, responsible. So those are the three. So go ahead and about 40 seconds left. Let's see where we get with those. In my head, I was imagining somebody had a children's toy of a railroad, like a car or something, you know, around somewhere.
I just put my daughter's Legos away. She graduated no longer, and I just put it. That's what I was doing in the attic, so I can't bring that down.
Well, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Let's see if anybody else comes up with something. But here we go. We have about 20 seconds left. Okay. And 5 seconds.
I looked around, I can't find anything to match that.
This is like a really specific one. You really have to like we don't make it easy on people. I'm going to tell you, we
It's great.
We don't make it easy.
I think I may have an alternative for railroad.
Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay. I think our time is up. So, why don't we go ahead? I think once again, I didn't get anything this time. Oren, did you get anything?
No, I could not think of a single thing.
It is so tough. So why don't we go ahead and just show us what you've got?
Okay, for railroad, I'm accessory client, and I recently had to do a reciprocity in Jersey, and I had to take New Jersey Transit. So I don't know if you can see.
Oh, there you go. That's perfect.
So I had to take the railroad there. Resources, I have several dummies, something like the iPad for dummies, Kindle for dummies. So that's a resource for me to learn how to use those items. And responsibility, I have a book on how to maintain great relationships. So I'm being a responsible adult in making sure. So that's my 3.
I absolutely love it. That is fantastic. Great job with that. And we didn't need a tiebreaker, but Marie was the clear winner. Nobody else came close. But what and I'm sorry we're running a little late. It's going to be about 2 more minutes, so I thank you for your patience. Do you does anybody remember or want to guess what the word was? Our tiebreaker is usually guessing the word. Does anybody remember what the word was?
A word?
All the letters spelled something.
Oh. Work? No. R-E.
Yes, Teresa got it. Nicely done, Teresa.
Oh, okay.
Power, that's right. A lot of
that. That's cool.
A lot of the rights of business versus rights of people issues come centered around these topics, certainly of power. So let me very quickly run through why we picked these words. So for railroad in 1886, the Supreme Court decided Santa Clara County versus Southern Pacific Railroad. And that established the concept that was part of this this thinking that established this concept of corporate personhood. In terms of responsible, companies still have responsibilities as companies, regardless of the concept of corporate personhood. So one way companies can demonstrate that they are owning up to their responsibilities is by hiring or creating roles or departments for corporate social responsibility or CSR. That is a thing, you know, yes, there's corporate accountability. There are ways to hold corporations accountable, but there's also corporations companies just being responsible on their own accord, creating this kind of agent of corporate social responsibility within their organization to help that corporation voluntarily hold itself accountable to the public, to stakeholders and environment. So that's actually a role that some companies have, corporate social responsibility. Also, in terms of resources, even when people work, resources can be limited, especially when people aren't able to make ends meet just from their paychecks. And actually 86%, and this shocked me, 86% of households with a SNAP recipient that included a non-disabled working adult had, in 2021, had work earnings, sorry, hold on one second, had work earnings during the year. In other words, even working people, right, even households with working people still were eligible for and needed that supplemental income.
In
right?
my field, that's what we call the working poor. I'm a social worker by profession. We refer to the working poor, which I fall in that category.
That's exactly what we're talking about here. So thank you so much. We have our clear winner actually for the second game, which is Marie. Thank you. Congratulations to Marie for that, and all who participated to the extent that they could. And clear winner for the whole game is actually Marie. So you'll receive your certificates. I'm going to ask that you put in the chat for me, or actually even better, I will put my email address in the chat. If you can email me your snail mail address, then you can hold on one second. I'll put it in the chat as well. If you can email me your snail mail address, then we can get your prize from today. So thank you so much for all who came, and thank you for staying late for this event. This is our, just a reminder, our oh my God, our We Got Game event. It's been a long day, folks. Thank you so much to Oren for coming here and co-facilitating with us. Thank you, everybody, for attending. This event is a part of Inform Your Community's programming. We have many other programs as well. Please check out our website and you'll see our events right there on our website at www.informyourcommunity.com. Please also, in addition to coming to this event, please also consider coming to future events and also doing other weekly actions to help support this topic. Coming to this event is a great way to start. You'll have access to our infographic as well, and to the video of this event. And so again, please feel free to share those. And while you're watching it on YouTube, feel free to like and subscribe. We have some great events coming up. On May 28th, we have a great event on immigration in our Know It All series. We're going to have some amazing speakers for that event. So thank you for coming. Thank you, Oren, for joining us today. Thank you, everybody, for attending and participating in our games and for staying a bit late. Have a great night. Thank you, everybody.
My pleasure. Be well.